everyone. Welcome again to another new Couchisode. I am DJ, and this guy right here sitting next to me is...
Blade. And I'm not next to you. I'm a whole lot long distance from you.
It doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. Just keep on with the script, man. We had this written. We had to say it. Come on.
Yeah. Damn it. I'll remember it next time.
Guys, welcome to another Couchisode, and today we're going to be bringing you another set of, very, very nice games that, were part of our youth. If you don't yet know our channel, we don't know our channel either, because we just started very shortly, so we don't know. But we know that we want to talk about games, and very, very nice old games that were part of our youth and our teenage days, as you're always already used to in our channel. So, Blade, who is going to start today? Is it going to be me or you?
I can start this week. And let's bring those nice, very nice old games that have that distinct smell of mold.
So what do we have today?
Well, I'm going back to the NES. Again. For an 84 game. Yeah, I keep talking about the NES. I love that system. So, I'm going to talk about an 84 game I played a lot, and I mean a lot, that was called Circus Charlie. Have you played it?
Circus Charlie. I do not recall Circus Child, unfortunately.
Okay, now the game was very simple. You had a couple of levels, I think it was 6 in total. You played a clown, and you were set on a circus, and you had these different situations where you were put on. You had one where you were riding a line that kept running, and you had to jump through flaming hoops, and some flames on the ground also.
Oh no! I do remember! Yes, yes. That one you just mentioned about the lion and the hopping the rings of fire. Yeah. I remember that. I played that for my clone system. I had a family game. And yes. Now, actually, I do remember that. It was a fun game. It was
so much fun, yeah. And you had other levels, like in the tightrope where you had to jump over some monkeys and you needed to walk the tightrope and get to the end. And there was a monkey that kept running along and just jumping on the others, and you had to jump in the exact same moment.
You know, if people that are watching this at home think that this was staged, guys, I tell you, it was not. I did not remember the title of the game, and now that you started talking about it, it just came to me. And oh my god, the memories.
Yeah, this is exactly
the type of feeling that we want to capture in the Couchisodes. It's like we're talking about a game, and someone says, the title Circus something. I don't remember, but then they see the gameplay. Oh, this one. That's the good thing about this, and that's exactly what you cost me. Thank you very much.
Something you guys might not know yet. We don't tell each other what the hell we're going to talk about, just to surprise the other ones. So, we can cost exactly this. And
so a little bit of more information on that. Yeah, we don't really prepare anything with each other. We just prepare ourselves, and then we surprise each other.
Yeah,
kind of like a couple when they start dating.
Yeah, something like that.
Alright, let's move on.
Okay, so tightropes, then you had the trampolines, and then you had a game you were rolling a ball and jumping from ball to ball to get to the end, one where you were riding a horse, and the toughest one, at least for me, was the trapeze. You had to time things just right so you could get to the end, and it was a simple game, but it was quite awesome, and the music of that game just stuck in my ears forever, for eternity. It was awesome.
It was a very good game. I remember playing it for many hours, despite that initially I said I didn't remember, but I do. It was a good one. It was a good one. I know I didn't have the best controllers in my, let's say, clone system, because we know that the quality on those were not as good as they were on the NES or even the SNES or any console that was out. Yeah. But still, I think I smashed one or two with that game.
No, it
was a good one. Yeah. It was a good one. And you guys let us know in the comments if you played this one, because we want to hear from you guys also.
Yeah, let us know when.
I guess you want me to bring a game now, right?
Yeah, I'm curious today.
Okay, so this week I'm going to talk about a game that was, it's from a very known developer. It's from Team 17, and we're going to be talking about Super Frog from 1993 in Amiga and 1994 for MS-DOS.
Haven't played it.
Despite that I had I already had a PC back then, I did play this first on the Amiga, and you know, it was because of the simple reason that back then the Amiga simply had, you know, much better sound than what you could get on a PC.
Yeah.
And that was exactly the reason. You know, amazingly brilliant platformer from Team 17, and I could not miss talking about it. So the whole story is based on the fairy tale of the Frog Prince, you know, the prince that gets transformed into a frog. However, there's a twist on this one. And the prince was transformed into a frog by a witch. And that same witch ends up kidnapping his girlfriend, which was the princess. So the prince then finds a floating bottle of Lucozade, which is, you know, what is Lucozade? And he drinks it and he gives him superpowers, and thus enabling him to embark on a journey to fight the evil witch, you know. You can't get any more far-fetched than these stories, man. It's just amazing. It's just amazing how they get to this. Anyways, they make great games. Objective of the game was to defeat the witch, but to do that you'll have to go through 24 levels that were divided into 6 worlds, and you do so by collecting golden keys, or for example even escaping from a circus. It's quite appropriate that we're talking about circus just on the previous game. This was a nice coincidence. Anyways, additionally, there was also a goal that, you know, to advance to the next level, you have to collect a certain amount of coins that, you know, usually is displayed on the bottom right corner. So if we're seeing some gameplay images right now, you'd see that. There is some funny things about this game, is that being from Team 17, there was some Easter eggs hidden on it. And between, for example, Worlds 5 and 6, there is a bonus level called Project F. And Project Frog, because it's it's Super Frog, and this is actually a reference to Team 17's successful horizontal shooter called Project X, which had, you know, brilliant soundtrack by Chris Hulsbeck. I think it was Chris Hulsbeck. Please don't kill me. If it wasn't Chris Hulsbeck, it was Alistair Brimble or something like that. I mean, there was a guy, but I think it was Chris Hulsbeck that made the soundtrack for this one. In 2013, this game was actually revived for the PlayStation 3, the PS Vita, Steam, iOS, Android, however, and all of those platforms. However, due to low sales and negative reception, the game apparently wasn't that good. The game was removed, and most unfortunate of all of this, not only was the remastered removed, but they also removed the original version from GOG.com. So currently, this game is not available on GOG, unfortunately. And I mean, if you really want to play this, it's worth it. It's extremely colorful. It's well animated. The sprites are just fantastic, and the movement and the motion of the camera. It's really worth it, guys. Play it because it's a really decent platformer. You know, if you want to stray aside from the Marios and the Sonics and whatever that is, because we already know those are good and those are, you know, key marks or landmarks in each one of their platforms. These ones like Super Frog, Zool, Cool Spot, you know, all of these are great games to play and great platformers to play. Amazing.
Yeah. I have to play that one.
So,
I didn't know it, honestly.
You played it? You played it? No?
Nope. Didn't know it.
You gotta try it. You gotta try it.
Okay. I'll look it up. So,
yeah.
Now, it's my turn, right?
Yes. Okay. It is your turn.
So, I'm going to go back to 1995 to talk about a strategy game that actually came out a year prior in the Amiga. But I only had a PC, I never had an Amiga. So, okay. I played this on the PC. It's a strategy game in space. And they were always fun.
Game in space.
That doesn't narrow it down much.
No, it doesn't. But well, okay, in that time, maybe... I mean, I could say Dune, but Dune was not really in space. It was in a different planet, so...
Yeah, in space.
Yeah, well, it's space for us. For them, no, because from their perspective, nothing else existed. But that's fine. I will not try to guess it because I'm
okay, so I'm talking about a game called Reunion. You ever played it? Yes? No?
Reunion. The name does ring a bell, but I don't... If I see some gameplay of it, I'm probably gonna be reminded of it.
Okay, so the game, it had a nice big intro where you were set in the mood for the game about what happened and what you are doing. It basically told the story about Earth, and everything was peaceful. There was complete peace in the world, and you had the human race just launching into space. Explorer 1 and Explorer 2 to search for colonizable planets. And those ships were gone for a long time, and one of them came back called Explorer 2. And when it came back, they started preparing it to colonize the world it had found, because Explorer 1 had just gone missing. And just as it was getting ready to be able to colonize, there were problems on Earth, there were different factions showing up, wars started, and they were started to try to destroy the Explorer, and you just had to flee. And with the ship damage, you took some time to get to the colonizable world, you colonize it, and when you start getting self-sufficient, there the game starts. And what's the objective of this game? You will explore the galaxy you're at, and start colonizing other planets, evolving your technology and getting a fleet up, and just getting yourself ready to go back to Earth and just eliminate those forces that took over the planet, and just get everything to be in peace again, and reunite basically the population that went to the colony and the Earth one. That's why it's called Reunion, basically. It was a very fun game. You basically control the whole game from a room where you have your advisors. You would have to pick them and pay them. There were better and worse ones. Well, if you paid more, you get better advisors. You'd have to research and evolve tech. You would have the bases. You had to build on them in each planet you colonized to get resources and to improve your armies, to produce the spaceships and the land tanks and everything. So eventually, when you're ready, you could go back to Earth and just reconquer it. And the game was just awesome, simply awesome, but was hard as nails.
I did take the opportunity to take a look at a little bit of the gameplay, and I do remember the game. I actually do remember the game, but to be honest with you, I don't really. I didn't really like it.
Okay.
I thought it was really. I think it was too complex. I think when I looked at this game, when I tried to play for it, I think it was too complex, and I think it didn't grab me because of that. I'm not sure
if he had a huge learning curve. Yeah, he did.
Exactly. I'm not sure if it's going to make a lot of sense saying this because of the game that I'm going to speak after, which is also a strategy game. But again, definitely I don't remember being it as complex as this one. But definitely I do remember this game, and for the PC also. I do remember it for the PC also. But I remember trying it and most likely not picking it up that much because of the complexity of this game. Indeed.
Yeah, it was hard to learn the game, but it was fun. And just let us know if you played it down below. I'm curious, seriously. And DJ,
maybe they can teach me. Anyone here in the comments can teach me how to play this game, because
it's an awesome game. And DJ,
yes,
you said you were going to talk about a strategy game.
Yes.
Now I'm curious.
You know, as usual, I try to steer away from the classics. Or the most evident ones, at least. But you know, I just gotta talk about this one because it's one of my all-time favorites, and it was supposed to have a reboot this year. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that later on. The game I'm going to talk about is The Settlers from 1993 for MS-DOS. Yeah, of course.
I also remember that game being called Surf City in some places.
I remember its German name. There was also a lot of in fact, I think the first version of this game that I had, which was a very original copy from a friend, it was the German one, and somehow we had to find the English one because it was the German one and didn't have the option for English. But anyways, The Settlers, the original version, released in 1993, was a city building simulation game. Also with real strategy, and it was so much more than what we used to, you know, in terms of these types of games on back then. As you said, you know, this previous game you just covered, you know, colonized planets and so on and so forth. But most of them were pretty much based on, how can I say this? They were based on fighting, like, you know, combat, military, taking over other enemies on the map and so on. And Settlers was not about that. Settlers was about, this was about the butcher being able to get meat from a pig that was coming from a farm that he was able to trade with the other settlers for something that he would actually use. So This was more of the management of the economy of the game, and this was, to me, was the bottom line. It's the fact that you control the whole economy inside of a city, and also other details of the trades and so on. Obviously, there was some level of conquering, but on the initial titles, it wasn't that much focus. It was only until Settlers 3 and 4 that we saw the game mechanics actually evolving more into the military action and rather than the economy management. That part was still there, but they definitely changed it a little bit.
You know what I have etched in my mind about Settlers 1? You had the prospectors that were going to the mountains just to look for where you could build up a mine. And they will go with the hammer and like tack, 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 tack. And then when they found something, they would just do a backflip and say, Chiku! It was awesome.
And the fisherman catching fish, bringing it back to the city center. I mean, I remember that one of the most important things on this, at least on the first games, was the construction of roads. Definitely roads were very, very important because the settlers had to move faster.
On the first one, they were automatic. When you put a house down, I think the road will automatically connect,
Yes, but in the later games, it was actually more of a focus on that one, on that particular topic. I mean, this is a huge franchise. I mean, it has started in 1993, and it had games released up to 2010, and in 2014 there was supposed to get another title released. But after the beta launch of this game, there was very negative reviews about it, and they cancelled it. Basically, the Ubisoft cancelled it because this now belongs to Ubisoft. This originally was from the Blue Byte software house, but then it was owned by Ubisoft. It is, as I said, there is a reboot of this series supposed to happen, of this franchise. I actually read about it. I think a few years ago. It was supposed to be released in 2019, then it was postponed to 2020, and obviously being 2020, because 2020 is 2020, it was postponed indefinitely, and everyone that actually bought this game was refunded. So I think it's not a good sign. We're probably going to be seeing a lot of delays. We don't know exactly how it's going to happen, but again, all these games were very, very nice. They had a different touch on the RTS genre, and the Settlers 2, 4, Rise of an Empire are actually all available in GOG for prices that go from 8 to 10 euros. And I actually played this game recently because I just wanted to go into my computer, sit down, have a cup of tea, relax, and have some game that that just that makes me relax, that I don't have to be fighting with anyone or shooting at someone. So yeah, guys, definitely give it a go if you didn't. I don't think that nobody did. I think that most of you already tried this game, but give it a go because it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's an awesome game. And
it
DJ,
is. Blade,
so are we gonna wrap it up for today?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. We already talked too much. People are already saying, "Yeah, shut up. Let us play some games." Yeah.
Yeah, man, I did speak a lot because I always like to bring you guys all the details about these games. It's not only about what they meant to us, but all the things that you'll be seeing on them, and making sure that you don't miss them, because there are some things that are so subtle about these games, anyways.
But you just need to enjoy them.
But I guess we're ready to wrap it up then, Blade, right?
Yeah, don't forget, guys, leave us a like if you like, leave a dislike if you didn't like, don't leave it. And, no, don't leave it, no dislikes, shh. And we'll see you guys next week, we'll have more great games. Until then, don't forget, guys, game on, have fun, everyone.
Game on, guys, see you next week, see ya.